blood spill. Assassinate till my caskets fill. Annihilation for the thrill. Expect more gore and violence. Accept the blackness, don't fight it. Gone forever, complete silence. Evil plans to close your eyelids on a crazy spree. I'm going mad. Stop beating hearts just like that. This soul has seen a lot of bad. My future's in a body bag. This world can no longer bind me. The reaper's so close behind me. Its cold breath reminds me. The shadows of death will find me. Kill till I die. Hell's at my door. Hell's at my door. Yeah.
I'm a shadow of the man I was before.
Shadow of the man.
I'm a dead man walking.
I'm a dead man.
Before I die.
Before I die. Whoa.
I'll take every soul I can into the night.
Oh.
And kill till I die.
As long as I'm alive. Kill till I die.
We going?
Oh yeah, we going.
What's up guys, it's Josh. You might know me as C-Balls from the Patriot Games, and today I'm going to be talking about some tips and tricks I've learned from an athlete's perspective at the Patriot Games. So this video is basically for those who want to compete, get points, and potentially win a competition. If you're only doing it for fun, if you're only doing it for their participation in the training and to get what it feels like to shoot under stress, then you don't really have to watch this video. But if you want to watch it to learn some tips and tricks that I have myself gotten from participating in so many events, then continue to watch this video. One of the first and most important things that I've learned while participating in the Patriot Games is to make sure that you have the appropriate ammo count before you go into an event. I know it can be very confusing reading through all the papers that Anthony is able to provide us for each event, and it can get confusing to the point where you're like 5 magazines to 10, 3 magazines to 2. If you need to recount your magazine before an event, go do that, because you don't want to be around short or around too much in an event, because that'll cost you points. With that also being said, how you have your gear set up is crucial, because you want to make sure if each rifle mag has a different count, you want to be able to memorize from left to right. You have 5 rounds in this magazine, 10 rounds in this magazine, and 15 rounds in the last magazine from left to right. But it's however you decide to set it up to your comfort and to your understanding. Now we're going to go to gear. Gear retention is one of the most important things to me. I've learned from my first Patriot Games that you can't have bulky gear because your sling from your rifle will get caught on it. If you're trying to transition from your back to your front, it'll get caught on an obstacle if you're trying to navigate an obstacle, and it's going to be a little bit more uncomfortable when you're running long distance. At least for me, that is. You want to make sure you have the right vest or the right gear that hugs your body the right way. So when you're running and gunning, it's not bouncing up and down on your shoulders, not wasting your energy, and when you navigate obstacles, it makes it a lot easier for you to glide right over it instead of having to push more and pull more to make sure that your bulky gear is getting over an obstacle. With that also being said, you want to make sure that you have the appropriate clothing on to your level of comfort. I know there's a lot of people out there that like to wear shorts or extra short shorts, tank tops and things like that, and sometimes they go shirtless. You don't want your gear rubbing on you. That'll start chafing, and that'll start rubbing on your skin in very painful ways that you just don't want, especially during a competition like this. Most of the clothing that I use is from 511, only because it's durable and it's stretchy. I know myself, I'm a very flexible person, and I can get in various shooting positions that might seem uncomfortable to most, but the clothing that is stretchy does help me get in those positions. Sounds kind of weird when I say it out loud now. Also, you want to make sure you have the right footwear, because these events can range from anywhere from a sprint to a marathon. Some events might be fast and quick, so it doesn't really matter what footwear you wear, but some of them might be 5-mile runs. So you want to make sure you have the appropriate shoes on to absorb that shock, save your knees, save your back, save your whole entire body. Because we all know those on duty for first responders, LEO, military, know what it's like to run in boots all day. It's not fun. But if you want to wear boots and train like you fight, sure. So going from ammo, gear retention, appropriate clothing to protect yourself from the elements and from obstacles, now we're going to talk about your rifle setup. So just like your gear, you want to make sure your rifle has good retention so it hugs your body just right when you're running long distance. You don't want your rifle to be slinging around and jumping everywhere while you're playing a game of whack fuck when you're doing burpees. Because if you're doing a burpee and the rifle's on your back and you jump up too fast, that barrel or that butt end will come swinging around and hit you in the face, and that's the game whack fuck. I know from personal experience. There's a lot of athletes you see that have like a seatbelt kind of rig where it attaches to the back of their vest to the front, so that way when they sling the rifle, the handguard or the barrel goes in between that seatbelt, so that way it's not slinging around hitting them in the back or hitting them in the shoulder or the top of the head. You can do that if you want to, but mainly you just want to make sure you have a good taut sling when you're running with that rifle. And you want to make sure it's easily adjustable, especially when you get on the firing line and time is of the essence. Staying on the subject of your rifle, you want to make sure you don't have anything inappropriate that doesn't need to be on your rifle in the games. No. So my rifle setup is pretty simple. I have a normal polymer hard plastic Magpul handguard with an angled foregrip, Vortex Optec 1:6 power, adjustable buttstock, and a simple sling. My rifle does not need to look sexy in order for it to perform on the field. Yeah, I love this thing so much. You want to make sure that getting in these awkward shooting positions requires flexibility and it requires you to manipulate your rifle in ways that you've never had before. So be sure to go around your house or your backyard, wherever you decide to have fun with your gun. Get in these awkward shooting positions, possibly switch over from your dominant hand to your weak hand to see what it feels like, because you never know what these events have in store for you. Another thing that I've learned, I know myself, I'm a fairly fit individual, capable of doing many things, but I learned that fitness is not everything at these games. The level of fitness for at least the intermediate, from my personal experience, can only get you so far. So with the whole speed and accuracy, strength, and all that stuff, one of the quotes that I basically told myself a lot, that I've heard a long time ago about these games and events and competitions, was that speed is fine, but accuracy is everything. What matters most is that you know how to shoot, because there have been times where I poured my heart out in an event and I come in first place in an event, but that doesn't really matter in the long run of things. If I didn't hit 10% of my targets, that can cost me points and push me back in position in the intermediate men's. So that's one of the things I've learned, is that accuracy is everything in this game, and fitness just kind of comes along with it. But fitness does help in the men's elite. I've seen it. Shit looks painful. That's all I have for you today. So until next time, be seeing you, bro.